Okay, tonight maybe let's just have a little bit of discussion on evolution, how to get to or attain our true potential. Or you can simplify it a little bit further if you like. How do we become successful in anything that we want to achieve, anything that we want to get, any point that we want to reach in our life? Either it's about our spiritual evolution, our yoga, meditation, or maybe it is about a job, an ambition, or a goal you might have set for yourself. And I guess that journey really begins with the first question, the first inquiry is, what do I want? What is it that I'm looking for? Where do I want to get to? What ambitions, what goals I have? Why do I practice my yoga? Is it just about my physical fitness or mental peace? Is it about my lifestyle? And if I'm following that, what is my own goal? Is my goal just being healthy, finding happiness, finding balance, finding serenity? Is my goal to bring some of these virtues, some of these yamas and niyamas lifestyle into my day-to-day life so I can find more peace within myself and also my interconnection with my family, the society, friends, and then the whole universe that I'm living into? What do I want? And in that idea, what do I want? How does that help me? Does it help me to grow? Does it help me to prosper? Does it help me to evolve in this life? Or maybe you might just think it just brings me happiness, it makes me feel good, it lifts my spirit, it lifts my consciousness up. Or maybe it just feeds into that positive ego that the name, that pride we carry. And that's okay. But what do I want? And what in it for me? And once you know the answer, then really our journey begins. Just remind ourselves, remember our journey has to begin from where we are and into this conscious, into this evolutionary journey where we are. I guess now we got to know the second part, which is, who am I? Because the moment we know ourselves in a true meaning, then we will also know where would we have to start our journey. Who we are physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. We get to know our abilities, we get to know our skills. Because I'm not sure, how do you answer it, but for me, when we say, who am I? Your first answer might be just your own name. Your answer might be ambitions. Your answer might be you associate with yourself with the people around you, your family, friends. You might associate yourself with what you do. So all these associations we have, if someone asks you, can you speak for 5 minutes about yourself? What would you speak about? Is there something you can actually talk? Is there something you can write? Which is purely about you as an I. What does that I stands for you? Or maybe you are a little bit more into the spiritual concept, then you start to see yourself as a consciousness, divine self. And I guess in a very beginning of journey, all these ones words are fine, because if we're not really listening our true answers, then we can't really begin our journey. If you all want to go back home, back to our ashram in UK, we can't start our journey from Lisbon airport or Bristol airport. The journey has to begin from here where we are sitting, or the day we want to go wherever we are. From there our journey begins. And I do find many times in our life we do this mistake. We take these higher concepts maybe for granted, that we ignore our physical reality, our existence, we ignore our drive forces, desires, either to please ourselves or please other people, to make ourselves look very fancy, either how evolved we are, how great we are, or sometimes how open we are, that we are accepting, we are flexible. But actually truly finding that how flexible are we, how easy are we, easy going with ourselves, easy going with other people, in many levels. So that is our second step, to find out where we are or who we are, to begin our journey. And once you know that where your journey begins, we need to learn how do we make all our choices in our day-to-day life. Because once you set a goal, we have to make all the choices, those are around the path that takes us to get there. So let's say, coming back to our journey, now we want to get back to ashram. So what do? We need to get to Lisbon, we need to catch our flight, we get to Bristol airport, and then from there we get our car, drive back home. But if we take the wrong path, then we might go away and away and away from our destination. So once you choose a path, then you need to really learn how to make all those choices that helping you to walk forward towards the destination, towards the goal, but also appreciate each step you're moving forward, enjoy them, feel happy or feel grateful about them. So you feel lifted, you feel positive, you feel happy, and you keep moving towards your goal, towards the end, towards the fruit, towards the evolution. And also in these choices we need to remind ourselves all the higher virtues, because without following these virtues of yamas and niyamas, ahimsa, non-violence, satya, truth, honesty, asteya, non-stealing, brahmacharya, aparigraha, purity, socha, contentment, disciplined practice, and then self-awareness or introspection, followed into divine consciousness, or in tuned with the gratitude and love towards divine or the cosmic wisdom, that naturally brings us into peace or harmony with our day-to-day life surroundings, situations. Then from there the next step is learning to find or somehow managing to practice, even if it's an hour a day or half an hour or maybe 5 minutes a day, learning to practice silence, not spending or wasting our energy into constantly into talking again, as we earlier were talking about, following that path with a discipline. So we need to nurture our energy, our consciousness, and finding every possible way to preserve our energy, preserve our mind, so our willpower becomes stronger and stronger. So if you can practice, even if it's few minutes a day to begin, ideally if we can find at least couple of days every month where you practice a whole day of silence, and in that silent moment, if you can, then try to practice non-judgmental. Can we try not to judge anything, not to judge ourselves, not to judge other people? It's really making our life as simple as it is possible, taking things simply, taking things easy. And when we take things simply, you don't have to justify, you don't have to explain, you don't have to manipulate, and that again preserves so much of your energy that your heart start to feel well nourished or well nurtured with love, with kindness, or with these pranic, these vital forces. And when your heart feels like that, these virtues become far more profound or easy to follow, easy to practice. Then appreciating. Another really amazing thing, learning to become part of the team, learning to become part of our families, communities, where we support each other. How do we support? Sometime we might work together, and if nothing, just giving a nice compliment, constantly supporting each other with the positive affirmations, positive words, even a little smile, little appreciation. That not only helps to build that further teamwork, but also builds your own confidence. And remember, if you give compliments, if you say nice things to people, you will also hear nice things. We get what we give, or so putting right seeds into our relations, into our team, or people we working with, people either we are supporting or people who are supporting us. And then the last and most important step is doing everything that need to be done. As one of really amazing idea, the concept Swamiji Gitananda Giri says, every human being has the full birthright to be healthy and to be happy. But both of them cannot be taken for granted. You have to invest in your health, you have to invest in your happiness. Similarly, success is not also cannot be taken for granted. Success in yoga, success in health, success in happiness, success in your job, success in your career, your ambitions. You have to invest in it. So through these virtues, self-awareness, self-responsibility, willpower, determination, we also need to do what need to be done. And I do find myself very interested in whenever we go into a little bit of silence here and there, even for a few moments, it gives us the true reflection, the true awareness of our own inner self, or the higher self, which tells us or guides us into making the right choices, following the right path, and also guides us how to actually do them. And then rest, trusting the universe, trusting the divine. If you really put your heart into something, I do find it fruiting so quickly that the whole universe will actually work with you. The only thing I guess is depending on our intention, as you know, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna talks about this whole concept of karma, fruitless or desireless karma, selfless karma, following everything as our duty, but doing our best and leaving the rest, not putting our thoughts, our desires, or the mind into what I get from it, what is the fruit for me. When you let that go, you start to see the much bigger picture, or the more important role that you need to play as a human being in this universe, in this life. And when you play that role perfectly, success is there. Success is for you, as you know who you are, you know where you're going, you know what you're trying to achieve, and also you know how to achieve it, how to get to your destination. And then if you can also a little bit more further, finding again anywhere from an hour to half an hour, or maybe even 5 minutes twice a day, sit quiet and meditate and listen your inner voice. Like, can you listen your inner voice without talking to yourself? And I do find this is, I think, most challenging practice. Can you sit quiet and listen your inner voice, but don't talk? And this is the most profound silence we can practice, when you're not reading, you're not thinking, you're not actively engaging in any talk, any reading, any conversation, or even listening, because listening is also break into our own inner silence. This is just a very sort of simple idea, simple sort of foundation we can create into our sadhana in our day-to-day life.